So for you, it might be about changing the view you have of how you are going to build your vision. Instead, think about who is going to help you get there instead of how you're going to get there. There are numerous people who want to help others to thrive and have a particular set of skills that will get you there. Find yourself knowing that you were not meant to know all of the things, but instead you can learn new things from others. Being limitless is knowing your success and your growth are built on a radical belief in yourself. Limitless is honoring your purpose, your health, and impact above all else. Limitless is never playing small because the more alive you feel in your life, the more growth and success you attract. Hi, my name is Jamie Ratermann, and I am a holistic business coach, meaning I am just as invested in growing your health as I am in growing your wealth. With 11 plus years in brand and social media marketing, I help rebellious entrepreneurs master marketing, embody leadership, and say fuck it to the hustle. This show is here to encourage you to become more radically aware of your self-imposed limits, to break free of your shoulds, and to expand your brand into a movement led by you. Hello, lovelies. Welcome to another episode of the Limitless Podcast. I am going to get a little bit vulnerable today, but also share about, what I've learned. So I think this is going to be a really fun episode, but also too, getting to use myself as the experiment this year has been really helpful. But I am officially a little more than 30 days out from my wedding at the the time of this recording. And I couldn't be more excited, but also too, it's been really interesting taking just a look back at everything that's contributed to this year, like how exciting it is, but also how I've managed to do a little bit of both of these things. But this is exactly what I want to talk about today is I went a full year as of this month without having a coach or a mentor. And it's something I want to talk about because clearly as a coach myself, my role is to be that mentor and to support my clients to get their best results. And I know I do that. I know I can make that happen. It's not only to help them make these shifts, but believe in themselves and ultimately transform to the next version of themselves as business leaders. So that's what I'm here for. That's what it's about. But today's podcast is about the role of that and why, in most cases, for you to hit that next level where you want to go, it's our ability to rise truly is not about, or it's really not just a matter of how, but who's in your corner. There's this pervasive limit that we've been told that to get anywhere in life or in business, the best way to do it is to be self-made. What a crock of shit. The best way to be is self-made. That it is all on us to show up every single day, that we are the only reason we reach our goals, that we've got to push ourselves. That's the only way to do it. And then if we don't hit it, we got to chastise ourselves. We got to make ourselves feel bad before we're there. It's a lie. It's a freaking lie. This idea of growing alone is not what we are built on psychologically or anthropologically. I wrote in my notes here, call it anthropology. But as humans, we thrive in groups. Put yourself in a forest. Do you want to be in a camp with other people or do you want to be out by yourself? This is the difference, is that we know intuitively that we are going to thrive with this support. We're going to thrive in the community. But knowing that coaching and mentorship is how that takes your form when you are building a business, when you are trying to create a new habit, when you are trying to change something about your behavior that is going to be hard for you to just change on your own. So, taking this idea of thriving in community, we want to use coaching and mentorship to really focus in on a specific energy that you're looking for. So knowing this, we've been lied to by this culture that talks about avoiding costs is more admirable than making powerful investments in ourselves and in our futures. I'm going to say that again. As a culture, we've been told that it's better and more admirable for us to avoid costs than to make powerful investments in ourselves and in our futures. This comes up when I'm having potential clients come to me. They've never made an investment in themselves and are worried that it's a waste or wonder what others may think of them if they ever hear about how much money they may be investing in yourself. And I, to be honest, remember this too. I remember how I used to absolutely like use Pinterest to find all of my training workouts. I'd use them for my recipes. I'd read every single book out there. I was putting in all the time and energy trying to make things happen for me. And by all means, knowledge is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with this. But it wasn't until I hired a trainer for the first time that I was like, oh, somebody who absolutely understands and spends 20 plus hours understanding this stuff made this faster for me to get to where I needed to go, allowed me to feel supported. I was absolutely not skipping this workout when I had this trainer with me. It felt weird. It was weird to say I had a trainer, but then as soon as I saw what the support did, I was like, oh, okay. This is what people are talking about. It's not just knowing that, yes, I need to do the squat. It's about being with the trainer who makes sure that I do that proper squat and ask me what I've been eating and making sure I'm supporting all of the other things that are going to help me reach my goals. When I didn't understand what the support looked like until I was fully taken care of. So aside from everything I'm going to share in this episode, is one of the main things I hope you walk away from today is that you deserve support. You deserve to be in a more results-oriented investments than to spend and potentially waste your time and energy trying to figure these things out yourself. It's not just about deserving it. Truly, it's knowing that when you have a coach or a mentor, you're 95% likely to actually reach your goal faster. This is the science of accountability all by itself. Now, I'm saying all of this because I have learned that I've seen how it's helped me, but I've also seen what happens when I don't have it. I have gone a year without a coach or a mentor as of today. I know I'm sitting here telling you of all the benefits, and I have not had one in my corner. Hold for a gasp, whatever you need to do. But this has been such a big learning experience. And I hope you can learn through me, knowing that I've been an entrepreneur for going on 7 years. I've had a coach 6 of those years. I want to just put it out there. I've had a coach every single year when I've been doing this. Now, I chose not to have a coach because I did make other investments this year. So I, in general, had a lot of project-based support where I had some short-term contracts helping with some larger business model things. I have expanded my team, so I have more people helping me in the back end. I've also done some automation software. So when I say that I didn't have a coach, my thought process was, oh, I'm investing in some other things instead. But also, I've been preparing for my wedding. If you've listened to some of the episodes, you know that I'm like in that mode of paying for catering and all of the things. And I just thought to myself, okay, this is the expense of this year, or this is the investment of this year, this wedding that I'm going to have. I'm going to hold back on having a coach. I won't do it again. Like, I will not go another year without a coach. Now, I'm not saying that I'm telling you that I'm going to hop from one coach program to another. I would definitely tell you that one of the benefits, before I get into what I've noticed weren't beneficial, but one of the benefits I did learn is that I don't ever want to feel pressured to jump into within the next coach. I might like do, a 3-month program or whatever amount of program, and I might take a beat, like a month beat before I hop into the next one. But I just know that I've had a slower year in a lot of ways without having a coach. I'm just going to make sure I choose them based off that scale. So this has been the only learning. This has been the only learning of not having this coach, is going like, hey, no, you know what? It's probably going to be beneficial that I don't just hop from one to the next, but knowing that I do need that mentorship, that group environment that allows me to reach those goals a lot faster. So keeping this in mind, here are 3 reasons why I want you to embrace more of an investment mindset, to be able to walk in and know that I want to invest in some who, instead of trying to push myself to figure out how. So being able to know that you're in the right places. And I'll tell you like what went on without having a coach this year that made this stuff harder. So the first and one of the most important things is that, like I said, we thrive in a community. Accountability and holding you to your commitments is one of the biggest keys to having a coach or mentor. So investing in this kind of support. So knowing that this is one of the biggest keys, it's really your ability to hold to your goal, knowing that not only does having this investment in yourself become this fantastic motivator. So like, if I'm going to spend this money, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be absolutely like taking what's been given to me and using it. That's one part of it. It's a motivator, but psychologically, you are more likely to reach your goals. So I love to use and reuse these statistics, but I'm just going to put these out here. 14% of people with goals are 10 times more successful than those who do not have defined goals. You increase your ability to reach your goals by 65% just by having an accountability partner. And you maximize your ability to hit that goal by 95% if you have a coach or mentor who sets and holds your deadlines, hold your boundaries, make sure they show you the path and get you there. 95%. So at the very least, if you want to hit your goals and get to them faster, it's not about how or which new strategy you ultimately want to try. It's going, how can you implement and follow through with your commitments with the support of a partner, of your coach, of your mentor. Think of this a little bit differently. This is about demand. If you set a goal and try to hold it for yourself, the responsibility of not only motivating yourself, but doing the task and checking in when it's done is all on you. You're holding all of those roles. It's being very responsible, right? But what happens when we increase that demand? Where I, as your coach, increase the demand for you to hit your goals, to check in to see if you've been building that launch, that you've been finishing your content, that you're showing up and being visible, that you motivate, that in general, when you wake up and you're in a funk, I can be there to motivate you, help you reflect on what way you can shift and move and make this a little bit easier for yourself. This is what's important. It's being able to lean in and know that it's not all on us. It's not our fault. And psychologically, this is how our brains work. We want support. We want other people. So knowing this, we either rise or fall based on the expectations we have around us. You've all heard that you are a representation of the 5 closest people you have around you, all of those things. This is about environment. It's playing into that, but also having people who are invested in you, like you are invested in your goals. This one in particular is the one I missed the most in the last year. I tried to find it in other ways. I had it in accountability buddies and communities. I even had my team join me for co-working sessions so I could increase my ability to build this culture of demand and support for my goals. While it worked, I did have it like the Band-Aid. It was a Band-Aid. I had these things, it worked. I found accountability in other places. It was simply just a Band-Aid. Being in a room where I'm one of 10 business leaders launching and sharing about my experience and asking for support, it's more dedicated. I'm more inclined to be honest. In general, I can't wait to share. I get to hear about what other people are doing. And it's this motivator. Like, if she can do it, I can too. I missed that focus of a coaching group, of a mastermind, of anyone else trying to build a business like I am. So knowing that I've seen the benefit of that 1 year without it, it was hard to manufacture it. Moving on to the next piece, having a mentor and having a coach is about creating an environment that fits best for your growth. What we're truly talking about when we're thinking about this type of mentorship and coaching is your environment. How can you make sure that it is primed and ready for your growth? So take a moment to reflect around in your physical space, your mental space, but also the community you have around you. How well does your current environment either stimulate your growth or hinder it? Having a mentor is like planting a garden. So when you're doing it alone, you may have to do a couple extra things. You have to find the right spot for good sunlight, the soil, the water access. You've got to learn the techniques of how to till the soil properly. And then after that, you got to put the effort to start the plant. But with a mentor, that environment is already prepared for you. You just have to bring the seeds and ask for help as they grow. Taking out all of that middle room and going, okay, I get to show up and talk about what my needs are and what I've prepared for this, versus having to build this environment for yourself. So I talk a lot about environment. It's actually something that I think people forget a lot. And it's me really trying to help you just take the heaviness off of trying to reach the goals that you're going after. So environment plays a lot of roles. It's external, it's internal, it's virtual, whatever you want to talk about. But whenever you're thinking about creating your best environment, I'll talk about this in a sprint where I go, can you create a distraction-free space right now? Then I talk about this mentally. Right now, who's talking in your mind when you're trying to hit your goals? Is it just an inner critic? How can we instill a mental board of directors that is more kind and more supportive to you? So like we're already hitting our mental, our physical environment, but also these external spaces. How, in what ways are you making sure that you're continuously inspired by people around you instead of trying to inspire yourself? So clear the first two can always be that responsibility, like for yourself, if you're trying to create that distraction-free space or you're trying to adjust your mindset. But that last one is really about breaking through this limit of going, I don't have to be the motivator every day. I can use the benefits of community, the benefits of someone who's invested in me to get to where I need to go. So this is me encouraging you to stop judging yourself. Instead of judging ourselves for what we lack, what if we instead looked at what we need to add in our lives to make it more likely? So instead of me going, damn it, I missed another workout, or damn it, I didn't do this thing. What if it's not about me? What if I get to go like, you know what? If I added a gym buddy, if I added a trainer, if I added an online community where everyone drops in their workouts each day, if I added this in, that's going to be fine. Instead of making it, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not doing this thing. We tend to focus on, what kind of people we are when we don't take action, instead of going, how are my social and environmental forces influencing me to either achieve what I want or not achieve what I want? So if there is something on your list that you continuously won't do, this is your moment to go, how is my environment preventing or supporting me? So, and for instance, let's just put this into a little more context. Let's say you have a team member and you hire them and you give them 5 important tasks that they need to do by 5 p.m. When 5 p.m. rolls around, she comes and tells you, I didn't get anything done. So what do you most likely infer? You decide, oh, she's probably lazy. She was probably scrolling on her internet all day instead of doing her job. You go straight for that. Or what might be the switch of this is going, what prevented you today from getting this stuff done? Like really asking her like, oh, what happened? You might find out if you end up making the switch that she might say, you know what, my Wi-Fi was completely out half of the day, so I couldn't get into the documents like you wanted me to. I'm actually, unfortunately, like in the middle of a construction zone, so like the distractions were high. Would you be more empathetic to this person that didn't get their stuff done? Would you go, oh, great, now I know what it is. It's not about you. It's about the environment that she's in. So this is the environment. It's unkind to believe that it's only on the person. It's only on you to make things happen. But what you are responsible for, what you can do to make sure that you have all the tools to make these things happen, is to change that so that you can, in general, make sure that the environment is more conducive to what you're building and creating. I feel the hardest in this arena without having a coach or mentor. While I have a beautiful physical environment, my desk is wonderful, I enjoy my space, I have a team that I get help with, I missed this growth environment the most. I wanted to have this external space that inspired me even more. I host these kind of environments. I have clients in them all year. I have the sprinter community, the mastermind, marketing mastery, all these things, I host them. So I know the benefit of this, but being able to flip on that, I did not get to participate in one myself. I wanted to be in that room. So even recently I had a past client of mine who was telling me, you know what, let's go co-work. I would love to like see you in the city. And it was just literally going like, how am I truly allowing myself to be supported externally? Like being able to just be somewhere else than my current environment would allow me to just get inspired in that way. So without seeing the benefits to environment, you tend to feel like you aren't doing enough. So this is the practice where I want to remind you that we want to take this off your shoulders and know that you do better when you are in an environment that stimulates your growth. If you don't have this environment, you tend to be tougher on yourself to make things happen. Believe if you don't hit them, that it's only your fault. Environment is about energy, and even more, it creates a foundation so that you can show up each day and take the responsibility just off of your shoulders. All you need to do is what you said you're going to do and ask for people to support you to get there. Instead of having to inspire yourself, motivate yourself, do these things, what if your environment was predetermined to do that? That is definitely one of the things that I miss the most. The last one, of course, when you're having a mentor or coach, is expertise. So I would definitely say this is definitely a number one reason for you to have a mentor. You want to learn from them. You want to excel. You want to save yourself time based off of their expertise and experience. So this has got to be the place where you end up winning back whatever investment you put in. Investing as a mentor is about really releasing any trial and error. So there's no scarcity of knowledge on the internet. Like you know that you have access to all of these things, but to filter through that knowledge and be able to know what's going to fit for you is really important. Knowledge is not always power, as we don't have time to try it all or do it all. That's the goal. Coaches are here to help you collapse any time and energy so that it's not going to take you a long time to figure it out. We're going to give you the tools that are going to fit for your business, fit for your health, whatever type of coach you decide to hire. So coaches will collapse that time and energy, help you ignore the unnecessary and focus on what makes you unique, what makes you stand out, and where are the best places for you to spend your time when it comes to the stage of business you're wanting to head into. So as a mentor, this is where I get the most enjoyment. I've been doing marketing for 14 years. I want to save you all the time in the world to get to where you need to go. I know how to build habits and help you hit those habits. I want to save you that time to get you there. That's what I love. I love taking clients out of uncertainty and creating a nurturing path for their business. I love giving all of you data-backed models so that you can personalize your habits and your business, that it fits directly with you as the leader. I also love diving into exactly what allows you as a client to be more memorable and to attract those clients. But many come with some preconceived notions whenever they're joining in, when they're like, well, this online guru says this, and I have to have this to make sure this happens. Well, I'm going to tell you over and over again, social media content is fantastic. The internet is a great way to be introduced to topics. It does not replace the ability to have a mentor. It does not replace the benefit of having someone in your corner who's going to say, this is going to fit for you based off of all of my experience. You don't want to take advice or make big business decisions from someone who's never seen your face. It just doesn't cut it. Direct mentorship is about having someone in your corner, showing you the ropes. That's what's going to be the best fit for you. And you won't waste any time when you have a coach that's invested in your success, not just giving that advice. So I've worked with a coach every year. Like I said, I've been doing this for going on 7 years. I've had a coach 6 of those years. Some of my coaches got me moving. Others showed me what I did not want to be as a coach. And many gave me a lot of resources of what I could ever need. Like, honestly, like I'm still using some course faults to get to where I need to go. This particular benefit of mentorship is what partly had me going, maybe I don't need a coach this year, because I had so many resources that were given to me. I dug into a lot of those course vaults. I dug into implementing the strategies I hadn't gotten a chance to. So that was lovely to have this time. I felt full, right? But I didn't think I needed any more resources to hop into my next coach. I knew that all I needed knowledge-wise was already something I'd invested in. Like I said, I've been in entrepreneurship for going on 7 years. I have had a coach for the last 6 years. This was the first year that I didn't have an expertise or experience telling me about this. What I did have, though, was all of the previous coaches I'd invested in had course vault resources, strategies I had yet to implement. And that was part of the reason why I was like, maybe I don't need a coach this year. I'll implement all of these things. I'll put this stuff into play. And I did. And I enjoyed it. There was nothing wrong with this approach. I felt full at the time. But like I had said in the previous ones, I was alone. Any strategy brainstorming or things that I needed to do, I had to reflect and figure out myself. If something wasn't working, instead of being able to brainstorm and lean off of somebody who's been through it, who's tried it, I was having that reasoning with myself. There's nothing wrong with this. I want to say that, like, yes, this is a skill you should be able to brainstorm with yourself. There's nothing wrong with this. But doing it for a whole year, it's so supportive for someone to reflect back to you. Like a lot of what I do whenever I'm coaching is that somebody will tell me what they're doing or what their program or what they're building, and I'll listen and be like, okay, what I hear is, and I'll reflect back to them, and sometimes they will disagree with how I've perceived it. That type of stuff can be so helpful, especially from somebody who's on a path that you want to be at. That's exactly what this coaching and expertise can help you with. So I know after this year, my next coach is going to probably be a one-on-one or a small group capacity because I am well resourced already. But it's about having just this mentor in my corner that I get to continue to brainstorm with. So taking this, I'm telling you right now, I will never go a year again without having a coach or mentor. I will never go a full year without having someone invested in my success like I am invested in my business. While I had my reasons and invested in support in other areas, I leave my year without coaching. Know that I perform my best when I don't put it all on me. Take a look at some of the most successful brands or businesses in your space. They were built on partnerships and mentors. See, the creators who've had these really big communities and businesses, they've benefited from being amongst other mentors, amongst other creators they would like to be like. Nobody truly does this alone. If somebody tells you that they're self-made, it's a lie. Somebody helped them along their path. So being open to allowing someone to help you is a really important takeaway that I'd love for you to take from this episode. So for you, it might be about changing the view you have of how you are going to build your vision. Instead, think about who is going to help you get there instead of how you're going to get there. There are numerous people who want to help others to thrive and have a particular set of skills that will get you there. Find yourself knowing that you were not meant to know all of the things, but instead you can learn new things from others. So if you're looking for this kind of support, I encourage you to consider me as your coach, especially if you've listened to a couple of these episodes. I would love for you to consider what it would look like for me to know you, to know what's going on in your business, to know what kind of support you need. If you're looking to build a strong foundation of that money-making offer suite of high visibility and a resilient mindset that attracts to the clients that you're looking for, Marketing Mastery is that 12-week group program that gets you there. And I'm accepting new clients for my October group. So I would love to have you in there. If you've built a business and feel good about it, but your numbers have been staying stagnant, then I encourage you to consider the Thrive Mastermind. So this is where you absolutely have me in your corner every single day amongst other entrepreneurs doing the same things as you. So these two are just two of my offers that I think would be so beneficial for you to consider. But the main thing I would love for you to take away from today is that if you are feeling stuck, if you haven't hit your goals, it may not be anything about you, but instead you haven't created the environment, you haven't found the ability to get the accountability to be committed, or you would benefit from someone who's already been through it. to save yourself time to reach where you need to go. Everything you're going to need is in my show notes. If you have any questions about my programs, about this episode, feel free to DM me on the gram at Jamie Ratermann. So that's JamieRatermann. If you have any questions. Until next time, though, live a little more limitless.